Welcome to Amish Roots, plain talk in a modern world. Thank you for joining me. The question for today is, how does a little Amish girl like this grow up to have a passion for hockey that exceeded anything else? Because I was one of the younger children in a large family, I was taught young how to skate. When I watched my older siblings glide around the ice, I knew I wanted to learn how to do it too. And I loved it from the get go. I didn't even mind falling, because that just made me more determined to master the art of staying upright on my pair of sharp blades. I don't remember at what age I learned, but I do remember that when I was in grade one, the public school I attended went to the local arena for an afternoon of skating. It was here that, as a 6 year old, I was slowly skating around the rink, arms outstretched for balance, when a girl in grade four asked me how I could skate so well. She was clutching the boards with a death grip in fear of falling. I told her it was easy. She was just supposed to move her feet. Ah, the innocent advice of a child. She told me she was afraid to let go of the boards and wondered if I would help her. Now, she was quite a bit taller than I was, so I knew that wasn't going to work. I simply told her that I was too small. And besides, it didn't hurt that much to fall. You just get back up and try again until you can do it. And then I skated away on my own shaky legs. These school trips to the arena were a special treat for our Amish family because we were not allowed to skate there otherwise. The Amish community used ponds and rivers in the great outdoors to skate and play hockey. My love for hockey can be traced back to my dad. He often joined us when we cleared snow from the ice ponds in our fields. As soon as I was able to stand on my skates without tumbling over, I wanted to carry a hockey stick and play with my older siblings. More times than not, I was left behind on the ice as they scooted back and forth, but it only made me more determined. Another thing that fed my curiosity for hockey was some Saturday nights, Dad and some of my older siblings would go to the neighbors who watched the National Hockey League games on TV. And then the next day, they would discuss in detail who had won and what had transpired during the game. I was enthralled with their play by play commentary. And it wasn't until I was about 10 that I occasionally got to go along. That only fueled my desire to learn more. I started reading every story in the local paper. I used the school library to sign out hockey books. And when I watched the games, I sat on the edge of my seat, involving myself in the action taking place. I was fascinated with all aspects of the game of hockey and spent every minute I could out on the ponds practicing, and in the summer, convincing whoever I could play ball hockey with me. At school, the other children brought hockey cards and posters to show the rest of us. I immediately decided that with any spare money I received, it was going to be invested in hockey cards. Chewing gum that came in each pack was just an extra bonus. And because I knew that asking to have a poster for my room would be forbidden, I saved up the brown paper grocery bags, took them apart, and drew my own posters. So they had pictures on them that looked something like this, or like this. I even drew a picture of my favorite player on my bedroom window blind, much to my mom's dismay. As I developed my skills, I wanted to play any chance I got. I invited myself to play alongside the boys, whether they wanted me to or not, which annoyed my brothers immensely. They complained I was weird and that no other girls played. They liked to inform me that hockey was for boys and I shouldn't be so obsessed with the game. But I didn't care. It did not lessen my enjoyment at all. No matter how deep the snow was on the ponds, I shoveled so that I could play. As soon as it got cold in the fall, I was checking the ponds to see if they were frozen. I also discovered wearing boy skates made playing hockey easier. They better suited my skating style, so I was no longer tripping on the picks of my figure skates. It was just another thing that irritated my brothers. They said it was unladylike for a girl to wear hockey skates. It was at this point my dad stood up for me and said they should let me be. His famous last words were, they should stop pestering me because I would soon grow out of my infatuation with hockey. I think he was probably recalling his own youth when he also grew up to love hockey after learning it at school. He told me once that he had to beg his dad to buy him a pair of skates, as his dad did not think playing hockey was an important pursuit on a farm. He shared that his dad would not purchase a stick or a puck for him, so he improvised. So desperate was he to play hockey, he fashioned a tree branch into a stick and used frozen horse buns for pucks. My dad also shared that he often had to play hockey alone as he could not convince his siblings to play with him. Because of his own experience, my dad made sure his children had skates, sticks, and pucks, even though they were bought secondhand. As the other kids in my community had dreams of farming, being carpenters, getting married, becoming a mom or a teacher, I dreamt about being the first female to play in the NHL. Of course, it never happened, but that is how passionate I was about hockey. It was not until I met my future husband that something other than hockey took center stage in my life. And although I still follow it to a certain degree, it is no longer an infatuation. Maybe my dad had it right all along. Maybe I am finally growing out of it. It just took a little longer than he expected. And as my mom said to me in exasperation one day, will you ever grow up? Ah, I certainly hope not. Life should be enjoyed. And as they say in the hockey world, keep your stick on the ice. Just a heads up, I will not be posting next week as I am going on holidays. Mach's gut, and see you next time. Amish Roots.